Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So, let's begin our session with a wonderful quote. Confidence and resilience are not gifts bestowed upon a select few. They are skill cultivated through adversity, self diversity, and unwavering belief in oneself. Finding your voice is the general towards unlocking the power within, embarrassing quality, and fearlessly steps into your truth. Good afternoon, everyone. I, Aditya Srivastava, being your host for today's international webinar on the topic Building Confidence and Resilience, Owning Your Voice, extends my warm greeting and a very good afternoon to all of you present here. Building confidence and resilience involves recognizing your worth and embarrassing your unique voice without fear or hesitation. It is about owning your experience, strength, and quality and using them as a stepping stone towards personal growth and empowerment. When you truly own your voice, you cultivate inner strength and quality, enabling you to navigate life challenges with courage and resilience. Talking about SEMS Welfare Foundation, we are a Section 8 not for profit company registered under the Companies Act 2013 with various recognition from Niti Aayog, NSME, NPCon, DDO, GKY, and more. Recognized as a startup by DIPP, MCI, and awarded Best Service Award for National Contribution. SEMS Group with an active network of 5,000 plus professionals, published book, and an international journal, organized education and health camp for underprivileged children, promote digital and financial literacy, and contributes to society. Our initiative Digi Saksham has developed content for 300 plus course in IT, BFIC retails, entrepreneurship, impacting diverse age groups. We have extended a skilling projects for 600 plus inmates signed moves for training, collaborate with various organizations, and conducted international conference. FamLeads, another SEMS initiative, empowers women through workshops and newsletter, conducting awareness program in digital literacy, marketing, and career development across different industries. We have impacted over 1,000 women across state and recently celebrate a milestone for 100 women associated with the program. On the behalf of whole SEMS family, I welcome you all for today's international webinar on building confidence and resilience, owning and finding your voice. And to add to our guests of honor, today's speaker is Preeti Guruswamy. It is a great honor to have you with us, ma'am. We are grateful for your presence here with us today.
Thank you, Aditya.
Preeti Goswami, a certified executive coach for tech leader with over 25 years of leadership experience, ignites potential in high performing individuals. She partners with leaders and teams, guiding them through transitions and propelling them to their highest professionals and personal selves, blending emotional resilience with a result oriented coaching style. Preeti empowers her client to unlock their full potential. She passionate about empowering women leaders. Preeti specializes in supporting senior executive and business owners. She helps them break free from limiting patterns, embrace quality, and lead with courage and visions. From revealing building spots and leveraging cutting edge tools. Preeti equips her clients with the resources they need to achieve their unique goals. Beyond coaching, Preeti fosters community and collaborate as the founder and regional leader to lean in networks. Women in Touch Tech India, witnessing the organization growth to over 4,500 members and receiving the 2018 Leans in Pupil First Award and testimates in her leadership impact. Her passion extends to advocating for educations as an adverse to an NGO in Bangalore. As a keynote speaker, Preeti engaged audience on leadership, diversity, equity and inclusion, and the transformative power of artificial intelligence (AI). Recognized for her work and impact, she has received various nominations and awards. As a champion for individual and collective transformation, Preeti Goswami stands as the ideal partner for high performing individuals on their journey of growth and success.
So, first of all, warm welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I am Preeti Guruswamy and I'm thrilled to be here talking about building confidence, resiliency, and finding your voice. Before we dive in, I wanted to share a quick personal story with all of you. People who want to connect with me, there is a QR code. That's the QR code of the LinkedIn. You can feel free to connect with me there. Let's dive into the story that I want to share and I'm excited to share, which actually connects to building confidence and resiliency and finding your voice. Have you ever been in a situation where your palms turn into sponges, your voice tremble, and when you look at your face in the mirror, it looks like a ripe tomato? Well, that was my state, and this was early in my career. While I was chosen to present a crucial tech proposal for the room full of executives. I had prepared this along with my team and my manager. Everybody were confident about me. Needless to say, confidence was not my friend that day. But then something shifted. As everybody says, look into the mirror and you will find your strength. So did I do. I took a deep breath, looked at myself in the mirror, channeled my passion for which I was so much engaged for this tech project, and found my courage to speak up. And I said to myself, I believe in myself and I will do it. And guess what? The presentation went well and the proposal was approved. And we all celebrated as a team. That experience taught me a powerful lesson, even when faced with a lot of nervousness and not believing in myself, expressing myself with confidence and giving that pep talk that I believe in myself and I can do it had created a significant impact, not only getting the initiative being approved, but also a booster and for propelling me forward for the next part of my career. Now that is what building confidence in resiliency and finding your voice needs. Now let's look at the trilogy of what does these three components mean. Imagine Imagine myself standing in front of all those people while I was presenting my tech architecture. As I said, I felt very scared, but it all was about telling myself that I can do it. So what's confidence? It's not the absence of fear. Always we feel confidence is the fear. It is not the absence of, it is the ability to act in spite of having fear. It's believing in yourself, like the way that I did that day, which I told for myself. I believe in myself and my ability. That's confidence. Now, the resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks and challenges and come out even stronger. The day in the front of the mirror, or even before I went into the conference room to present my tech architecture, I was trembling, but I was able enough to come back with all the nervousness that I had. I was able to find my authentic voice and my communication style, which I could express clearly and confidently. Now, this trilogy is called as empowerment as well. These qualities are very much essential for both your personal and professional growth. Whether you're leading a team, negotiating a raise, or simply attending an interview, having confidence, resiliency, and ability to communicate effectively will empower you to achieve your goals. As Forbes highlights, confidence is the key factor in any career success. Confident individuals are perceived as more competent and are more likely to be promoted and earn higher salary. And that's exactly what we will be exploring today, building confidence, developing resiliency, and finding our authentic voice. Let me tell a little bit more about myself while Aditya actually gave the introduction. I have spent around 25 years as an tech leader in companies like CGI, Oracle, Informatica, and Intuit. During my career, I had privilege on building products, B2B products, and B2C, leading global organizations as well as growing leaders within the organization. And also was privileged enough to work on the latest and greatest technologies like AI and GenAI. Together, today, I'm here to explore, to build confidence, navigate the challenges, and find the authentic voice. With that, let's look at our agenda today. As I said, we will understand what is confidence, the power of the resiliency, finding your voice, and finding your voice. Now, before that, let's look at understand what is confidence. Now, before I dive into confidence, can you all tell me a little bit more about how do you understand your confidence? While we have stated the confidence is also the ability to speak up while still the fear exists. Now, I would like to, you can use your chat window to, actually talk about what are your confidence. When do you feel confident? Okay, why don't you guys raise your hands if you have ever felt nervous before a big presentation like I was, nervous about your job interview or even your first date, anything that doesn't matter. Confidence plays a critical role in various situations. Yes, thank you, Nazir. So we have, isn't it? So now what keeps the confident people apart? They don't let the fear paralyze them. They acknowledge them, take a deep breath, and move forward. So the confidence is all about being, no, it's not about being fearless. It's about acknowledging the fear and choosing to act courageously. Now let's explore what self-confidence means. Self-confidence is an act as it acts as a fuel for our decision and our action. It acts as the energy for you to speak up and find your voice. While you're making decision, while you make decision, you need to believe in yourself. And when you are confident, you're likely to make choices that aligns with your values and your goals. You're not afraid of weighing your option, analyzing your information, and you trust your judgment, right? So that is all about confidence. And that is where you build the fact about taking risk. It actually helps you to take risk and step out of your comfort zone, right? Uh, there are factors that actually impact your confidence. So some of the factors that impact your confidence is your past experience. Your past experience of failure also impacts your confidence. But taking that failure as an opportunity for and moving forward is also an opportunity that helps your confidence to go ahead. Successes boost your confidence, right? And it's important you celebrate your achievements, big or small. It doesn't matter, right? You can rebuild your resilience and you can have the sense of self belief. Your self perception, right? You need to have it, your self image plays a very significant role. You have to have some self talk. Remember the story that I said. I went in front of the mirror and I said, I believe in myself. The self talk, the positive self talk helps you to move forward. But if you view yourself negatively, it brings you back down, right? You will start doubting your own abilities, right? Focusing on your strength and accomplishment actually helps you to build that self image. Create environment. I did have a great environment of a supporting boss, team, everything was there. Yet, but the confident, I made it my best friend instead of my enemy. So remember one thing, confident is not a fixed trait, right? It's understanding the factor and actively building this every day. It requires you to build this on every day. You need to create an environment of supportive people with you. Learn from your experiences and you will be able to cultivate the confidence and unlock your full potential. Now, while we understand the factors impacting us confidence and the impact of having greater self-confidence, we have a greater career, we'll move into the three pillars of confidence. This is very critical, and this is coming out of my experience on what these three pillars are. One of the big three pillars, one of the things that I believe as part of confidence is self-belief, right? It's the bedrock of the confidence. Self-belief Imagine a imagine a magnificent building, right? And if this foundation is not strong, then the building would break anytime, right? And that foundation is about believing yourself, right? Self belief is your bedrock where all the other aspects gets built on. It's about having a deep conviction in your abilities, a strong faith that you can do it and you can achieve your goals. When you believe yourself, you're more likely to take initiatives, embrace challenges, and you will believe in your ability to bounce back. That is very important. Now, while there is self belief, the other two pillars are self awareness and self compassion. Now, let's look at what is self awareness. This is one of the fact that self awareness is knowing yourself. What are you good at? What are your accomplishments? Right? So they play a very clear role. And it's also important that you understand what are your weaknesses. Always remember one thing. You working on your strength, it's like building your muscles. You will build the strength muscle. You excel and enjoy doing it. And consider your area of weaknesses. It's the area that needs to be improved. But focus a lot on your strength and have your principles and values well defined. The moment you have the awareness for this, your decision making and action will be seen very visibly to everybody. And this will help you to drive. It actually fuels your passion and you get really motivated. Playing on your strength will help you to leverage and achieve your goal very effectively. You will be able to make right decisions and align to your goals. Self compassion. This is your inner cheerleader. And I really believe in it. That day when I had to go and present that tech architect paper at a very early career, which was a golden opportunity, the thing that made me a shift from where the confident wasn't there and I became the good friend and the confident became my good friend as well. It required both of us to understand each other. It was self-compassion, right? We all make mistakes, but instead of beating ourselves or instead of saying I'm not good enough, instead of judging me, will I be able to do this, right? It will be good to encourage yourself, and if you fail, acknowledge it and learn and improve. Waking up inner cheerleader and igniting the executive wisdom is something that I do a lot as a coach. Now, benefits of self compassion are quite a lot. It helps you to bounce back from setbacks, right? It'll help you to be kind for yourself, and also it'll help you to encourage you to move forward when there are challenges. Remember, everyone makes mistake. The key is to learn from them, forgive yourself, and move with self compassion. That is really, really important. Now, while we understood the pillars of confidence, self compassion, and also we are self awareness and self belief, let's quickly, in 2 minutes, do a small activity. It's a very simple activity. Take a moment, right? And this is the activity for self belief. Take a piece of paper or use this chat window. I would love to see what comes out of the chat window. We will write, I am statement. Right now, I want you to close your eyes and reflect your strengths and capabilities. Write this on the chat window. I am a strong communicator. I am a creative problem solver. I'm a great team player. Write down what comes on your mind. Let's take around 30 seconds to do this. Is it hard? Write down. I am. Use the chat window as much as possible. It's your activity, guys. As we said in the beginning, it's very important for you to play this role. Okay. In the interest of time, I'm going to move on to the next slide. But feel free to do this activity at any point of time and put these in front of the mirror or read every day. These are a very positive self-talk. Now let's understand the power of resilience. For me, power of resiliency is all about bouncing back stronger. Remember the story that I talked about? It was about me bouncing back stronger. Now let's understand what's the bounce back cycle, right? We all know that life throws a curveball, and in today's fast-paced world, the change is constant and uncertainty is always there. Resiliency is more important than ever. I'm going to say a story of this person that I'm sure all of you know the story. It's the story of Serena Williams. In 2015, Serena Williams faced a setback where she lost the match. It was very shocking and upset and leaving Serena in the state of shock. She couldn't believe it, right? Following the shock, Serena entered the phase of denial. She struggled to accept the reality of the situation, questioning her own ability, her trainer, her training, right? And in fact, it was also about the statement like, there's no way that this happened, that I lost. I wasn't my best, but I will get next time. The denial is a natural way your body would work for your defense mechanism. But the prolonged denial hinders progress. Serena, however, did not stay there. She eventually transitioned from denial to anger. This is another state of the bounce back. Now, she felt frustrated and upset about her loss, which is completely understandable. But she experienced disappointment and sense of loss after the defeat. What she did very differently is she acknowledged these emotions and allowed herself to get back from the setback. She even spoke about it. She even spoke about it in her interviews as well. And what she did differently and shifted this time is she focused on her training, preparation for future tournament, which the acceptance was played a very critical role. This helped and made Serena into growth phase. She started analyzing her matches, identifying areas of improvement, and every match she was better day after day. Her story is a powerful story of bounce back cycle. By acknowledging, processing the emotion helps us to fuel for the growth. We can overcome any setback. Now that's the cycle of the bounce back. The bounce back cycle is very important that we understand in being resilient. There are some strategies that you can use during your bounce back cycle. They are setting up realistic goals. You should have really good goals and they are reals. Use smart, use whatever tools that is required, but set up a realistic goal, right? Embrace your strengths and weakness. Build on your strengths, acknowledge your weakness. Always practice self care. Self compassion plays a very critical role, as we saw in confidence, right? Develop a positive support system. Create a system where you can find your sounding board, mentors, be it whatever, where you can express yourself. It's very important. And journal and learn from your setbacks. Learning from every setback is a great opportunity. Reflect on what happened. By practicing these strategies, reframing the challenges as opportunities of growth, we all can develop greater resilience and navigate life with strength and grace. This is a great story of resiliency, and I've always have applied this in my own life. Now, as we have understood the confidence and resiliency, when you have these two pillars built, right, the next one is finding your voice. Finding your voice is about how well, with clarity and impact, and how effectively I can communicate. Imagine the world that everybody can communicate effectively. Can that happen? Yes, it can. But finding your voice is about unlocking your potential within yourself. It's not about becoming someone or something that you are not. It's about developing your authentic style and expressing yourself with clarity and impact. There's a lot of benefits in finding your voice. First, let's look at benefits and then let's look at strategies. Now, what becomes important? What will happen when you communicate clearly and confident? You create an image of being very authoritative and also expertise. People are more likely to trust your ideas and follow you as a lead. So it increases your credibility. Now, communicating also helps you to build a stronger relationship and deeper connection. When you express yourself clearly, honestly, your voice makes you feel understood and valued. This helps you to foster a very strong relationship around you. and around your stakeholders. The power of voice can move mountains, right? So, by articulating your ideas effectively can inspire others, influence decisions, and make a real difference in your career. While we all understand this, we still have challenges with this. Understanding this doesn't mean that, or overcoming this doesn't mean that you're not going to have challenges. You will always have challenges, right? Now let's look at what are the challenges that we face while finding our voice. We all face obstacles in our journey. That is very, very true, right? And we are always worried about what are we going to feel, what we will be criticized, right? What is that people will tell when I speak? That day when I was giving presentation, I was like, will my tech architect be approved by these executives, right? What if I make a mistake? What will my team think about me? My manager will lose confidence in me, right? There were so many. One thought, and thoughts are very creative. Let me tell you very clearly. Thoughts are so creative that it can create multiple bubbles of thoughts, right? So that one thought actually gave into many things. The fear of being criticized can hold you back from speaking up, right? And that's why my voice was trembling. The moment I shifted, telling that instead of doubting my abilities, I said, I believe in myself, things changed automatically. Right? Instead of questioning my abilities and having self doubt, I started saying, I believe in myself. That was very, very crucial. Right? And sometimes all these self doubt leads into lack of clarity because it becomes a cloud for you, a cloud that you cannot express yourself, right? And what 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 does that lead in? That leads where you will start feeling trembling, whatever you thought and you will present, you don't remember. There could be various things that could happen during these times. So finding your voice is finding that inner wisdom of you, finding that authentic communication style of yours. As I said, you don't have to be somebody that you are not. So finding your voice helps you there. Now, what makes you fly on the top of the sky while you find your voice? Now, remember always that it is very important you understand your ecosystem. And while there is different techniques, one of the important thing that while you are presenting or while you are talking to anybody, while you're proposing even your 1 minute pitch to your stakeholder, you need to know your message and see if this is aligned with your values. So it's so important, guys, that you need to know what is that your message and does it align with your value. The moment it is aligned with your value, you will stand out. I remember this conversation by one of my SVP when I joined this organization, and it was very new and very new to the organization, but not to the leadership. And he was coming from US, and I was like talking to him, and one of the things I asked him what makes him stand apart and what makes him unique. And he said, Priti, when I joined this organization, one of the things, or joining any organization, one of the things that I do is I look at the value of the organization and I also look at my, are they aligned? So it is important to know what your values are. Are they aligned to a different person you're sitting opposite to? Sometimes it is not, and it is fine, right? When it is not aligned, you can definitely move on. But it is important to know what is that you're aligned to. So while you know your values, automatically you will know what messages you would do it. One of the things that when you have to present or when even whenever you're defining your 1 minute pitch, right? It doesn't come automatically. I'm telling you this. It requires you to practice it every day. Have your 1 minute pitch, 2 minute pitch, and your 5 minute pitch, depending on the situation you. And for this, you need to write down what is your core message. I'm using the pitch as an example in this, right? What is the core message? What is the important ideas do you want to communicate during that period of time? And what are these values? Are they aligned? Does it make you stand out? And what's your impact? Once you have clear understanding of this elements, you can craft your message and deliver it with conviction, right? And this kind of helps you to bring clarity in your message. The same presentation conversation example that I took at the beginning of this session, right? I had done all these things, right? I had worked on my presentation. So there was, and it didn't happen magically that, oh, I shifted, I believed myself and I'm going to speak today. But there was this background work that was done where my team believed in me. And that work is bringing clarity to your content. That becomes very important. Now comes your confidence part of it, assertiveness. Speak up. Finding your voice is not being pushy in your meetings or anywhere. It doesn't mean that, oh, I have to make sure my voice is heard. Let me be pushy. Let me interrupt this conversation. No, it is about communicating your needs and opinions in a very respectful and confident manner. A lot of time we mistake being assertive is being pushy. For this, Lakshmi, can you mute, please? Yeah, thank you. For this, you have to have a concise language. You should maintain a good eye contact, confident body language, and most importantly, not always we'll be able to agree with the opposite person, but we don't have to disrespect them. We can always respectfully disagree and provide alternatives for different perspectives. And this kinds of build a strong relationship. Most importantly, we have to be true for ourselves, right? The most powerful voices are the ones that are true to themselves. Just because you know it and you can speak confidently, don't imitate somebody else or also push somebody else across the world, right? Be yourself. Bring in your unique perspective and experience. And speak about it with passion. Let your personality shine through your action, right? And embrace all your imperfection. You don't have to be perfect, but make what you say as real. So, and all these techniques cannot happen in one day. What is important is the practice. Practice makes progress. It's very important you practice that, right? When you have all these things, you can seek opportunities to speak up in your meetings, any conversation, including your coffee cooler conversations. You can join public speaking and participate in role playing exercises, right? One of the most important thing, and I do it even today, is record myself, right? Record myself and hear it back again and again and again, and identify the areas of improvement. Remember, finding your voice is a continuous process. It is embracing the journey, practice consistently, and you will discover the power of your own unique voice to communicate, connect, and make a difference. Now, that's practicing every day makes it progression. Practice doesn't make you perfect, guys. It makes your path for progression. Now, before I go into our learnings, I would like to quickly understand if you all agree, what's the learning for today's session. I would happy to see that on the chat. I'll just give 30 seconds. If not, I'll move on. Okay. Now we definitely learned three things: building our confidence, our resiliency, and finding a voice. As I said, confidence is not about absence of fear. It's the ability to act, right? While the fear exists. And it's a beautiful act. And when you come out of this act, you feel very powerful. Resiliency is about ability to bounce back when there are setbacks and challenge. Remember the Serena Williams story. In confidence, it was me speaking in front of the mirror, giving me all that, finding my inner cheerleader, right? That is confidence. Now, finding your voice is all about developing your authentic communication style. It is not that all these aspects, it's not that they're not there, they're there within us. Unlocking these three elements within us will actually make us move forward, right? By understanding how to bounce back, practicing strategies of self care, positive reframing, all of this will help us to navigate difficult situation with a lot of self-strength. Building confidence and resiliency and finding your voice for me is a continuous journey. It is about committing to taking action, looking at challenges, embracing challenges as opportunities for growth, and let your voice be heard. Speaking up becomes a very clear thing for me to build the confidence. That gives me, and that's our learning, and that's the essence of today's session as well. With that, I'll open up to the Q&A. Do we have any Q&A? Lakshmi, do you want to address any Q&A?
Yes,
One
ma'am.
second.
Wow, ma'am. What a wonderful knowledge given by you, ma'am. I hope our audience learned many new things from this session. I would like to highlight some key points like understand confidence, self confidence, the pillars of confidence, like self belief, self awareness, and self compassion. The techniques of finding your voice, clarity, assertiveness, and quality. Ma'am, there are few questions which our audience wants to answer. So the first question is, what strategies do you use to build confidence and resilience in challenging situations while staying true to yourself?
So first of all, we need to understand what our strengths are, right? And as I said, some of the strategies that I use is my uh, self awareness, right? And journaling. Journaling, I generally use journaling after every situation, and I journal every day, right? And in journaling, I identify what is that I need to improve on. Right, and I always journal about how three things. What are the three things that went in well, right? So journaling is very important for building your confidence. The second thing that I use, and I use this as a consistent mechanism, getting feedback from my friends and my family. Right? This is not the performance feedback I'm talking about. Certainly, understanding the feedback. When I do a presentation, I go and ask my manager, what are the good things I did? Right? I don't say what are the things that I need to improve. My first question is, what is that anybody liked in my presentation? The second thing I asked is, how can I improve? Right? So the moment when somebody says good things and begins with good things, your second question on improvement, there's always the booster that comes in. You feel more confident on taking your feedback, right? So it is very important. All you need to follow this. Identifying your values. This, as I said, right, it is very important and very uh, uh, mm, uh, very critical that you know your voice. Setting up your realistic goal. Can I do it? Not about achieving like, no, I can go for. I can do gymnasium. No, I can't do it this age, right? That's not realistic goal. Think about what does help me for my entrepreneurial career journey. What's that goal that I have, right? And strengths and weakness. I believe strongly in building on my strengths. That's my power, right? I acknowledge my weakness and I say, and I find delegates to take over my weakness, or I actually provide this. If I can't do something, I say I can't do that. Acknowledging the weaknesses so that I can get necessary help, right? And self-care. Journaling is my best thing, the way I have take care. It's very important to take care of your physical and mental, right, health. And this is how, whether you do meditation, whether you do exercise, it's important you take care of yourself. These are strategies that helps me to build my confidence and resilience, and this helps me to finally find my voice as well.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, for answering this question. And our next question is, what role does self-awareness plays in the process of owning or finding your voice and building confidence and resilience?
Can you repeat your question?
What role does self-awareness plays in the process of finding your voice and building confidence?
Who's knowing yourself, knowing your value plays a very critical role, right? Again, I use journaling as my tool, right? If you made your mistake, accepting your mistake, and you will be able to accept your mistake only when you have the awareness towards it, right? So self-awareness plays a very critical role. Now, self-awareness is also a very it's one of the elements of your emotional intelligence as well, right? So it is very, very important that you are aware about your strengths and weaknesses. When I spoke about self-awareness, I said identify your strengths and weaknesses, right? That those are the things that help you to build the confidence, actually, right? So, like, say you want to practice your presentation with somebody, right? Fine, ask help. Oh, I need help, right? That way you practice it with the other person while you're presenting a presentation to your executives or anywhere you want to do, right? So identifying what am I good at, what I'm not good at becomes very critical.
Thank you, ma'am, for answering this question. Our next question is what is the fine line between confidence and overconfidence?
Again, I think the fine line between confidence and overconfidence lies in self awareness and perception of our own abilities. Like you, when it comes to confidence, right, it is all being realistic about what your abilities are and acknowledging your limitation. As I said, identifying your weaknesses and and acknowledging them is very important, and open to learning. A person who's confident will receive feedback and willing to improve, right? Which helps you to focus on your growth, and you will be able to see your challenges as an opportunity. And always acknowledge others' confidence, I mean, other contributions, and avoiding arrogance. This is where your confidence plays in. But what does your overconfidence do? Now, overconfidence, the same self belief which we spoke about, it will be inflated, right? You will underestimate abilities of others. In confidence, you respect others, right? And in overconfidence, you resist any constructive criticism and also feedback. You believe you know it all, right? Then there is also dominance that comes in, right? And this dominance becomes a blocker or hindrance for collaboration. And you also belittle others and you take credit for others. You take the credit for others' work, right? All these are is the difference between confidence. Now, where does the fine line stay? As I said, it lies in self-awareness and understanding your ability.
Thank you, ma'am, for answering this question. The next question is how do you handle self doubt and criticism while staying committed to finding and expansion your voice?
See, one of the worst self-criticizer is yourself, right? And as I was saying, uh, this the topic that I said, right? One of the self-criticism that was happening when I had to give up my first ever presentation was, can I do it? I can't do it. I will not do it. Or what will people think? All of these comes into a picture, right? So the way is that comes is, I call this as taming your inner critic, right? Your inner critic is important. You identify that voice that keeps, you know, talking about you, right? It's the voice that you can't do it, you will do it. But just taking all these voices and converting them to be more affirmative, right? Responding it with more positive and supportive voices, and the way you do it is, do it in front of the mirror, right? Do all the critics that rise on your head, do it in front of the mirror in being making it positive, right? So that helps you to solve the inner critic. Well, you see, there will be others who actually talk about, they give you a critical feedback. Accept those critical feedback. If the feedback is something that talks about your improvement, accept them. So that is very important. And that's why I say self-awareness plays a very critical role here. Then treat yourself kindly, right? If you feel you're having like, I can't do it. I have so many of my clients coming back and talking to me. I have my sister coming back to talking to me. I myself, when I feel I have doubt, I go and talk to a person whom I know I can confidently speak without judgment and where they won't judge me, right? So I go and do that. So talking to others also helps you to overcome your self doubt. The other one is practicing mindfulness, taming your self critical thoughts without judgment, right? Taming your inner critic. That is very important. And focus on your progress. It's instead of saying, oh, I actually, did not say that sentence well. Look at how well you have presented. Celebrate your progress, right? Track your achievement, whether it is small or big. Give yourself a treat when you finish anything. I treat myself every time, right? And when there is self doubt, ask yourself, why is it coming in? Is it true? The moment you ask, is it true? Most of the time, you get the answer as false. Instead of saying, what if, why, what if this goes wrong? Right? Say, I can do this. Focus on potential solutions, right? This are the three things. And I said, I do journaling every day and I do a gratitude journal. I write three things that I did really well. So take your time to appreciate good things that is coming in your life, right? It helps you to boost your self esteem and overall mood as soon as you get up as well. And read that gratitude that you've written, right? And always seek support. There are times with all these you still feel low, seek support. Talk to your trusted friend, family member, counselor, coach, where you believe that you can speak, where you're not being judged. As I said, it is a journey, right? Building confidence is not the destination, it is the journey. So you have to be patient with yourself, focus on being self compassionate, and celebrate your progress every day.
Thank you, ma'am, for answering this question. Again, thank you all for attending today's webinar. And if you have any additional question, you can contact us by mail or telephone. We have happy to provide additional support to you. Please follow us on our social media and subscribe our YouTube channel for new learning.